have enough time to take your certification course. So I want to ask, how many of us here still has an outstanding assignment, and I want to get your view on the assignment. Like, I want to actually get your view. Is it like, is it too, like, are the assignments too easy or too hard, or they are too small? Like the number of content, they are too small or they are too much. So I would like to like hear your view on that. Since yeah, Sunday precious. So yeah, you can unmute and speak.
Okay, hi, Usman. Good evening. As
Good
at
evening.
last week, I think yes, last week I sent you a message that I'm unable to move forward with my code. Like even when I submit, it doesn't go through. Like it just keeps rotating and restarting the session. Like nothing I do shows progress at all. And I have completed, like I've gone through everything, but since it doesn't submit and nothing shows progress, it's just there till the assignment expired since last week. So I sent a mail to DataCamp and I also sent you a message on Discord. No response from either person. Up until now, I'm still having the same issue.
No, I think it. I remember the issue you raised now. You asked on the Discord channel, right? I think I replied you later. So though it was late, I replied you later.
I sent you a direct message, not on the channel.
A direct message.
Yes.
Wow, I don't think I received the direct message because all the direct message I was sent, I replied to every one of them. There was a time I was really busy that I did not reply, but there was after some time I replied all the direct message. I'm actually going to check back today again. But I saw the same message on the group, and what I said was that probably you should try again after some time. You know, there may be some time that maintenance may be going on the at the back end or things like that. Have you like tried it like some other days and it still hasn't worked?
I tried it some few days back, which is like I think today's Saturday. I tried it on Wednesday, I tried on Thursday. It's still the same thing. Yeah, it's still the same thing. No progress. It just the session just restarts. I cannot submit answers to proceed. The question just restarts.
Is it a course or a project?
No
Like when you
project.
are having,
A course, the like the classes.
so you've not been able to take any classes since then.
Oh, yes, just that particular course. Let me go to my dashboard right now so that I think
Yeah.
eh, just a minute. Okay. So introduction to statistics in Python. That particular course.
Okay. Like, wait, can you like sorry that I'm asking you, can you like what exactly was the issue with the course?
Sorry?
Can you like share your screen?
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
No, not yet. It's coming up now. Yeah, I can now.
All right. So this is the course, yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to even write the code somewhere so I won't miss it. Because I've been submitting and submitting and submitting and it doesn't just work. So I had to just write all the code somewhere. I think I haven't even lost the others. And it just does this and that's just the end.
Wow. From here now, I can see that there are four steps to this project. You've completed the first, the second, the third one is where you're having issues with, right?
Yes. I moved from this third one. No, this is the fourth one, if I'm not mistaken. This is the fourth one. Okay. I moved to the fourth one, the same thing. I moved to the next course, the same thing. So it's not like it's just this particular this thing. I moved to the fourth one, the same thing. I moved to the next course, the same thing.
Wow. Okay, try to do this
Sorry.
method. Try to the next one you should now. Can you try to do it? And you are no more sharing your screen.
Oh, okay. Um, should I keep sharing my screen?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
Because the error message that the former code gave out was that your code took too long to execute.
Yes,
Probably
that's
you are not getting a place right, and it's like taking more than allocated resources.
how I don't understand.
The I think you went to one, like you went to one.
I'm lost. Um I'm not following your this thing again.
Okay, so after this exercise, there was one exercise you showed before your screen went off. That
Okay.
that one that
Like,
requires dragging bucket.
yeah. See, these they work, right? But this the code session, these are the issues. You don't you can even see this one that it just rotates, and even when you submit, it's the same thing to keep rotating and rotating, it doesn't move. But these they work. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, yes.
I can't submit codes.
Wow. Okay. I think what we have to do is, can you like um can you tag me on Discord so that I can message you? We need to like schedule like the one-on-one session to troubleshoot it.
Okay, I'm sending you. Should I tag you on the channel? I should send you a DM.
Yeah, send me a DM and also tag me on the channel so that I can't miss both.
Okay.
Okay,
All
yeah.
right.
For other courses, you have no issues with other courses, right?
No, it's just this one.
Okay, okay. So I think when I was asking about assignment, someone said he missed to write Emeka. What happened? Why do you have why do you still have two remaining assignments? Hello, Bright, can you hear me? Yeah, good. Yeah, you can unmute and speak now. Yeah. I just sent you,
Okay,
I think
good evening, sir. I've actually not done any assignment, sir, because
why
I've the the time
why
is too short compared to the amount of assignments. I work almost every day, so let's say Saturdays are only the 3 days. Then when I join the class, I go offline. Before I even study the courses, do the assignments, time is already up. So I've been sick for a while. So I'm just trying to
wow.
catch up on everything.
So how is your health now? Hope you are feeling better.
I'm getting better, but I was given some off days, so I'll use those days to get back to what I've missed.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, please take care of your health first. And so, one thing that I would just like to say is that for not doing any assignments by now, I think in our first week we had assignments, and how many weeks have we given assignments now? For 3 weeks. I would really like you to really catch up because this is the fourth week. There's no assignment this week. From next week, we'll be having assignments almost every week back to back. I don't think we are going to miss any week anymore because in our first meeting, I showed you the number of things we have to cover. We have a lot of things to cover. We need to cover, the associate data scientist track. We are scheduled to finish it within the first 2 or 3 months according to our calendar. And in that track we have 23 courses, 11 projects, and I've forgotten the number of skills assessments that we have here. And to meet up with it, is you need to really up your game, please. You have a very long way to go. You have a long way to go. The worst thing is at the end of this 6 months, not getting any certification at all. That would be like as if we've actually not done our work, because the purpose of this scholarship is for you to learn and get certified, so that anywhere you go, you can easily show that I know this thing and I'm certified in this. Please, let's work more on that. And is there anyone else who is still who still has pending assignments here? Hope no one else has pending assignments here. So Bright, you are raising up your hand. Yeah, you can unmute now. Bright, yes.
Uh, yeah, good evening. Sorry I didn't unmute initially. I like outside on the road, so it's a little noisy. Sorry. I think I have two assignments pending, and yeah, but I was following and catching up with every week. I think it was just the last two that got delayed, but I'll do my best to do all the remaining person.
Okay. Please catch up. Please. From next week, you are starting. Assignments will be assigned tomorrow evening. So we are starting over. There will not be free period, free week anymore. And Ramon, yes, you can unmute now, Ramon.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
evening.
I've missed a bit of assignment because I'm a student and I'm having exams. So I don't really have time. And with the what do you call it? With the track, that science track, I don't really have time to do the assignments. But by the grace of God, by tomorrow and this night, I'll try to finish everything up.
Okay. So hopefully you'll be able to finish. And another thing I want to ask is, hope the first 2 months of this scholarship is a probation period. There are some criteria you need to meet for you to remain on the scholarship. Have you been briefed about the criteria to remain on the scholarship after the first 2 months?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you've been briefed, right? Please, let's work towards it. Let's
Sorry,
work
sorry,
towards Yeah.
sorry. I don't know the. I've not been briefed on what to meet, what you I've not been briefed actually. So I don't understand what you have to have done before 2 months.
Okay. So I would like to quickly go over the requirements again for the whole scholarship and the first 2 months. So let me start with our plan. Our plan for the 6 months of this scholarship is that we are going to be taking the associate data scientist track on DataCamp. We are going to complete it and then take the certification and get certified. And then you are going to take the associate data scientist track on DataCamp, complete it. you are going to take the certification also and get certified. And then you have a final capstone project that you will do, and that's also compulsory for everyone. And then that should be like a final project slash assessment from AI Community Africa. So those are like the five major things that you need to do. So we are still in the first phase currently, which is the associate data scientist track. And from there, that's where we'll be like sending assignments to you weekly, because we plan to finish that associate data scientist track within the first 2 to 3 months to finish the track and get certified. So that's the plan. If you can go faster than the way the assignment is being assigned, it's going to be better for you, because you may actually need more time during the certification. Like you may need more time to finish the certification. And being certified is one of the requirements for you. So now, out of these 6 months, the first 2 months is probation period. And there are some criteria to meet in order to pass this first 2 months probation period. And I'm going to read out the criteria now. Okay. So John said he has repeated it a number of times, but I'm just going to like repeat it one more time so that we know that at least we've repeated it enough. So anybody that doesn't know now, we know that probably the person did not attend breakout session. So the first requirement for the first 2 months, like to pass the probation period, which is the first 2 months, is complete complete at least 3 courses in your choosing career track. And if you like been doing the assignments up till now, I think you should have passed this requirement. The second requirement is that you should acquire a minimum of 5,000, 50,000 experience points from DataCamp. I don't know how much experience points you have currently, but within the first 2 months, you must acquire at least 50,000 experience points from DataCamp. And you acquire experience points by taking courses, doing projects, and taking some other things. Everything you are doing on DataCamp is adding experience points to you. So by having activities on DataCamp, that's how you can gain experience points. And you need to get at least 50,000 by the end of the first 2 months. And the third requirement is that you must complete at least 2 projects. I think by now we have assigned 2 projects. If you've completed those 2 projects, you should have met that requirement. And the last one is that you should have at least 50% breakout session attendance. You should have you should have attendance for at least 50% of the breakout sessions that we had. And let's not forget, I have sent the attendance link in the comment section. Please, in the chat, I mean, kindly let us fill the attendance form, because attending breakout session without filling the attendance form is like not attending at all. So 50 attending at least 50% of the breakout session is also a requirement for the first 2 months of the scholarship period. Now, I hope we all get the requirement for the first 2 months now. 11, can you hear me?
Yes, we got it.
Okay. So I think some people did not receive the attendance link. I'm going to reshare it now. So after that, after the probation period, you still have 4 months left till the end of the scholarship period. So the requirement for you to graduate, I think okay, I will share the attendance link now. Please let us fill the attendance form. Now, I will not go through the requirements for graduation at the end of the scholarship period. So the first requirement for graduation, now this now affects everyone. Why I always say that even though if you are busy, try to things like that. The first requirement is that what you should get DataCamp certification. I hope we all get that. The first requirement for graduation at the end of the 6 months is that what get DataCamp certification. And in our chosen track, we have two certifications. The minimum is that what you finish the first one. That's the minimum. That's the barest minimum. And for you to finish that first certification, you need to first complete the associate data scientist track. You need to complete it because that is what the first certification examinations, that's what they are based on. You need to first complete it in order to be able to pass that certification examination. And that's what you are trying to like achieve in the first 2 to 3 months of this scholarship period. If you are following the assignment regularly, like the way we are dropping it, within the first 2 to 3 months, you should have completed that class and then taking that certification course. Once we complete this track, our focus will be on passing that certification examination, and we are going to share tips because that certification examination, you have to be very, very careful. Don't start it if you are not sure you are going to be getting certified. If you fail it twice, you have to wait for some months in order to be able to take the certification exam again. It is not something that you fail and then you keep on taking, you fail, you keep on taking, you fail, you keep on taking. You have to be sure that you are going to pass it before taking the certification examination. You have to be very sure because if not, once you fail it twice, you will not be able to take it. See, your scholarship is going to end, and with that, you'll not be able to like complete the certification, and that you've already missed the first. Please let's take note. So the second requirement for graduation is complete and submit overall capstone project. I told you at the end, AI Community Africa is going to assign a project or a capstone project or final assessment that everybody has to do. So you have to complete and submit it. And then the third requirement is what? You have to complete at least one career track. And that's what you are starting with currently before the certification. You have to complete at least one career track. And the first career track that we are taking is the associate data scientist track we are currently on. And then the fourth requirement is what? Complete and submit at least 80% of the project assigned by your teaching assistant. So you must complete and submit at least 80% of the project that we are assigning to you. And those projects are the projects that are in the associate data scientist track and the data scientist track. So those are the projects we are assigning to you. So you must complete and submit at least 80% of those projects. And then the fifth requirement is what? Have at least 70% overall breakout session attendance. You must attend at least 70% of the breakout sessions that were held. You must the first 2 months is you must attend at least 50% of the breakout sessions. Now, in the overall requirement at the end of the 6 months, you must attend at least 70% of the breakout sessions that were held. And in those breakout sessions, remember to fill the attendance form because that's how we track your attendance. And then the last requirement is that what? You must acquire a minimum experience points. Please, you must acquire a minimum of 100,000 experience points from DataCamp Learning Library. And this 100,000 experience points, it is not easy to get up to 100,000. I remember when I got when I was also like a learner. Then when I got the scholarship, I did I started with machine learning track. I completed it, and then I went to data analyst track. I completed it. Associate data analyst track. That track is also very bulky, like associate data science. I completed it, and then I now started a data scientist track. I completed it. Look at how many tracks that I've completed, and I've also completed data scientist track earlier. I also did data scientist track because some courses are available in other tracks also. But by the end of all these tracks that I did like maybe I know I did at least three. It should be more than three tracks that I completed then. With everything, my total experience point currently is 200 and something. So if you are telling if this 100,000 experience point is actually no joke because you really have to like complete both at least the various minimum, the tracks that are compulsory for you, associate data scientist track and data scientist track. You need to like find time for it to like complete it. No matter how tight your schedule may be, no matter how hard, like this is your basic tasks that you are here for. You cannot like go on to other tracks if you are very fast and this thing. But you must complete this two first. This and I hope we all get the requirements. The requirements are actually going to tonight on Discord. So we can actually like read them ourselves and then go through them again. I think two people raised their hand. Two people raised their hand. So Ramon, you can go first. Oh, he has dropped his hand. So Precious, now you can go. You raised your hand.
Oh, sorry, it was a mistake.
Okay. Okay. So those are like the requirements for the probation period to pass the probation period and the requirements for graduation. So I hope every part of what I said is clear, or is there no class part that is not clear? Yeah, Ramon, you raised up your hand. You can unmute now.
Yeah, good evening again.
Yeah,
Sorry.
good evening.
There are sometimes that the when you're doing the track, the data science track, sometimes that the network, or I don't even know if it's coming from the DataCamp side, that it will just hold, it will just be continue loading, loading, that you get fed up at some points. Then you have to leave it. I don't understand what I'm to do by that time. And if I come back again, you'll still be
Yeah,
rolling, rolling.
actually, those type of things that you talked about, I've also experienced them. Like I actually experienced them a number of times. So what you just have to do in those periods is that probably just take a rest and then come back to continue later. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. I understand
And
now.
there are some cases where the coach they are asking you for, like there are other ways to achieve the same result they are asking you for, but your own method is taking is using up a lot of resources that is not more than allocated to you. So that's why sometimes you see like the type of error that was shown when Precious shared our screen, that your code took too long to execute. That one, there are two causes. Is either your network or the code is taking more RAM, like more, it's taking more space on like the RAM or maybe the CPU than allocated to you. So probably you need to like find other ways to like achieve that same result, or you meet somebody that has completed that task and then liaise with that person to see how the person was able to scale through. So those are like some of the things we can face. Yeah, I
Okay,
think
thank you.
okay, yeah. Bamidele, Bukola, you can unmute now. Yeah,
Thank you. Well done, sir.
sorry, I cannot hear you. Can you hear me?
Hi.
I heard your voice
Hello.
faintly now. I actually cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, but it's still low.
Sorry, please. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, I can.
My question is like when I'm
Yeah.
taking the course, for example, I'm
Please,
in
your voice is
introduction to
very low.
Python.
Can you like? Yeah, you said
Can
when
you
you
hear
are.
me now? Sir?
Yes, yes,
So whenever I'm taking the course, like
yes,
maybe I'm done with introduction to Python now.
yes.
So going to the next track, it will just bring, it will come up like I should pay before going to the next track. So that's actually blocking me from going through the next course. So I don't know what happened, please.
I don't get it. If you finish a track or if you finish a
Yes,
course,
the course like introduction to Python now.
yes.
So to go to the next point, next track, it will
No, not
just bring,
track, course.
okay, next course. So it will
Yes.
bring like I should pay before I can access the next course.
Wow,
So that has been, it has been occurring since I started. So I
wow.
don't know, maybe I'm actually going to get some points before I can go to the next course. I don't know.
No, wait. Did you sign it to like DataCamp with the same email you were given the scholarship?
Yes.
Can you like send your like email to me on like on Discord? Because you are not supposed to be asked to like make any payments if you sign in with the email that you get the scholarship with.
I signed through the email and I don't know why. Can I
Yes,
send to you my email now?
yes, yes. Please send it to me now on Discord so that the people in charge can quickly talk.
Okay, what's your name on Discord? I don't know. Okay,
My name on Discord, Usman, Usman.
okay. I will send it now. Thank you.
Okay. Or you can just drop it on Discord and say you're the one I have to drop your email.
Okay, thank
Or if you don't want to drop it, you can just ask on the Discord that who is the TA that asks for your email, and then I'll reply, and then you can send it in game. Okay, so I think time is 6:37 now. We've spent a lot of time like talking about SP and all that. So now I would like us to like go through one of the projects that has been assigned to us, investigating Netflix movie. That's what I want us to like go through today. Like let's walk through it together and then use that as a refresher on what we've learned in introduction to Python and intermediate Python. So I think there was somebody who has been asking what are we discussing today. So it's actually investigating Netflix movies. Let's put to practice what we've learned because it won't. I think all of us has gone through the courses. So the best way to like learn is to like put them into practice. So I'll be sharing my screen now. Can you all see my screen? Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Okay. Okay. I've written the code earlier, but I want us all to like start writing it together. We want to like go through the project together. Taking longer than expected to load. That may be due to network. So if you like check our Netflix here, what we have here is investigating Netflix movies. And we have to like want to what perform exploratory data analysis on Netflix on underscore data.csv data to understand more about movies from the 1990s decade. What was the most frequent movie duration in the 1990s? save an approximate answer as an integer called duration. Yeah, use 1990 as the ticket start here. A movie is considered short if it is less than 90 minutes. Count the number of short action movies released in 1990s and save this integer as short movie count. Feel free to experiment after submitting the project. So yeah, now this is what we have. If you start a project, you have the project instructions, and then at the bottom here you have different tabs. So in order to like pass the project, what I will usually suggest is that once you go to this guide section, that's when the steps will be broken down into like simpler forms that you can easily do to achieve the project. So yeah, this is the Netflix data source here, the columns we have in the data and the description. And this first cell is always given to you to load the data. So if you run it, first thing you should always do with a data frame is to like check the first few values in the data frame. And we do that using the .head method. So this is the name of the data frame and then .head. So yeah, we have the first few data in our data frame. So we have the show ID, we have the type, we have the title, we have the director, the cast, the country, date added, release year, duration, description, and then detail and what type of movie it is. So now if you go to the guide here, now you see how to approach the project. They said the first thing is filter data for movies released in the 1990s and then find the most frequent movie duration. And then the third step, count the number of short action movies from the 1990s. And then we now have the steps broken down here. So for the first one, they said, do you want to subset data frame to keep only movies and then filter the years? So you want to subset the data frame to keep only movies. So if you check the last column here, you only want the one that has movies. And then filter the years so that you are working with rules where release year is between 1990 and 1999. And if you see here how to subset the data frame, one way to subset the data frame is to use square bracket, pasting in a condition. First, use square bracket to select the type column you want to subset with a condition using quotation mark around the column name. Then apply a conditional operator and condition you want. In conditional operator can be this. After the operator, type the rest of the conditional. So you have the string or number you want to subset. Finally, wrap up all that in a set of square brackets to subset the original data frame. So what they are saying here is that what now we want to subset the data frame to keep only movies. So we have two conditions to apply here. The first is that what we need to subset for only movies, and the second is that what we need to subset to keep only years that are between 1990 and 1999. So our data frame is Netflix underscore DF. And then to subset, we use square bracket. Select the column where you want to apply the condition. And that's the last column we have here. And then exactly equal to movie movies. In order to be able to like subset properly, we need to first see the unique data that we have in that column. So we need to like first select the column and then we can use dot unique. to check the unique values we have in that column. So we have dramas, horror movies, action, international TV, independent comedy, sci-fi, independent movies, international movies. And then do you have movie alone? Okay, so we have different type of movies here. So if we want this type of code, it's actually not going to return any value for us. So we need to check where the string in that column contains the word movies. So that's what we are checking for. We are not checking for where the value is movies because we have different type of movies here. So the method we will use is dot string dot contains into movies. So we are subsetting the rows that contains the word movies. So let's run it. So we see a lot of values true, false, true, false, true, false, true, false, true, false, like that. So if the column contains the word movies, if the value in that column in that row contains the word movie, it will be true. If not, it will be false. Like let's see the first five values here. The first value we have is drama, and the answer is false. It does not contain movies. The second one is horror movies, and then we have two because it is a movie. So this is the first condition we have here. Now the second condition is that what we need to select movies that the release year is between 1990 and 1999, and then you can come down here and then we see Netflix underscore DF. Now we are check now the column we want to check now is the release year. Hello everyone, are you following?
Yes, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the second condition we are checking is the rows where the release year is between 1990 and 1999. So yeah, the column we are checking now is release year. And then to check for a duration of year, we can actually check greater than or equal to 1990 and less than or equal to 1999. But we can combine those two because it is a range. We can combine it into a method. There's a method that combines both. Then we use dot between dot between. And anytime you want to like use a function and you actually cannot remember how the function works, a useful way to do is wrap that function in the help function, like put help and open bracket before it and then close the bracket. For the function you want for the method you want to check, don't use bracket for it. Just leave it like this without its bracket and then use the m function around it. Netflix. Oh, my spelling is not correct. So yeah, these are the between we have the left, we have the right, and then inclusive literal, and then returns Boolean series. Equivalent to left is less than or equal to series, and series is less than or equal to right. So that's what function does. It combines both less than or equals to and greater than or equals to, since it is a range. So yeah, we put what we want to check, the lower boundary in 1990 and the upper boundary 1999. That means in the 90s, 1990. And then if we run it, So we have false, false, false. We have some that are true, and then we have false. We have like this one now that is true. That's the seventh item. You know, the first item is 0. So this number 6, index 6 is the seventh item. Let's check the year of that one. So in our head, you know, basically your head function returns the first 5 rows in your data, but you can specify the number of rows you want to see. So I'm selecting the first 10 rows now in order to see that seventh item. So this is seventh item. The release year. What's the release year? The release year is no, this is the item I'm looking for, index 6. That's the seventh item. So the release year is 1997. You can see that it is in the 90s. That's why it is true, why every other one is false. Now we've implemented the 2 conditions we want to check for now, but we need to combine those 2 conditions into one. You need to combine them into one because we are checking for both conditions. You need to subset by both conditions. So what we just have to do is to combine 2 conditions together. We take the first one and then you combine them using the AND operator, this ampersand operator. So once we put AND in between, it means that I'm subsetting with this and also subsetting with this. So I'm going to select only movies that the release year is what, in the 90s. So here you can see a lot of false, 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 false. A lot of false. So only if both are true, that's when I'm going to say true. Okay. And before, let me quickly see the number of rows I'm going to return. You can put everything in a bracket and then put your sum at the end to get the number of the true values I will be getting. So it means that I'll be left with only 21 rows after subsetting with both. I will only be left with 21 rows. So now they said subsetting, and then they said finally, after the operator, type the rest of the condition as such. Finally, wrap all that in other set of square brackets to subset the original data set. Now we will now subset the original data set with these conditions, this combination of conditions that we have. To write Netflix underscore df, open the bracket, and then close the bracket. So from here to here is the conditions that we are subsetting with, and this is the first condition and this is the second condition. So they said filtering by column values. You can filter by specifying a condition using square brackets similar to subsetting a data frame. First, use square bracket to select the column you want to filter with a condition using quotation mark. Then apply the conditional operator and the condition you want. The conditional operator can be this. Type the rest of the conditional share as string. You can filter a data frame multiple times to apply several filters, saving a new data frame each time, and then using the newest data frame for next filter. So another thing we can do is that we can subset with the first condition, and then what we subset, the output we get, we subset it with the second condition also. And we can also combine our conditions in like one statement, the way we have it here. So if you want to subset like one condition at a time, then you can just say Netflix underscore df. Because you have Netflix underscore df, you can call this one, and then you see equals to Netflix underscore DF into subsetting by this first condition. And then you will now subset again Netflix underscore DF3 is equal to Netflix underscore DF into the second condition. No, this has to be the one we just subsetted. So you have to like chain it like that. And then let's see the last one that, that has been subsetted. So you can see what we have here. You can see 21 rows. So now this one, let's call it Netflix underscore DF. No, underscore subset underscore DF. That's a combination of both in one line. So let me print it. So if we check both, we will see that we are going to be having same output. The index 512, 796, 1031, 517, 796, 1031, and we are also going to have 21 rows also. So we can either combine all the conditions in one subset or we subset them one after the other. So the output of this is what we subset in the next one until we are done with subsetting the values. So that's what was explained here. And then I think we are done with the first step now. So the second step is find the most frequent movie duration. Visualize the data to view the distribution of durations for movies released in 1990s. But here we can now see int to visualize it. Use plt.east on your desired column to view the distribution of the value. So we want to plot an histogram. Plt.east, and then visualize the data to view distribution of durations for movie released in the 1990s. So it is the duration column that we need to like visualize. So if we check here, we have type, cast, country, date added, release here. This duration column is what we want to visualize. And then you see Netflix. Remember that we've done we are working with the data frame, which is the subset of the original data frame, not the real data frame. Underscore. So I don't see subset. Oh, I wrote Netflix. Sorry, that's where the error is coming from. So this should be Netflix. Okay, underscore subset underscore TF, and then the column we want to show. That's duration. So let's run it. So anytime you are plotting, remember to use plt.show at the bottom. So that all these outputs that we get before the image will not be shown. So yeah, we have the distribution of duration, and you can see that what the most frequent value we have here is what? 100. That's 100 minutes. That's the most frequent value that we have here. So yeah, now what was the most frequent movie duration in the 1990s? Save an approximate answer as an integer called duration. So we need to like save an approximate answer. Duration is equal to 100. Or what do you, or is 100 not the like most frequent duration here? Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, 100 is
Okay.
the most frequent
So
duration.
okay. So we are done with the second step now. So now we are going to the final step. The final step is count the number of short action movies from the 1990s. The number of short action movies. So the first thing here is that what subsetting by the type, and then they said use square brackets and a conditional operator to filter the gerund column for action movies from your 1990s movie data frame. The subsets that we have, push my code to the bottom. Okay, so let's see the type of movies that we have in our data frame. So let's see the unique values we have there. So we have classic movies, cult movies, horror movies. So they said use square bracket and the conditional operator to filter this column for action movies from your 1990s movies data frame for its conditions of exhibition data again to keep only movies with the correct this, and then I take to the data and count the number of movies making the condition of exhibiting it outside the movie ranking one, and then 90s action movies.
To be
Yeah,
clear, Sir Usman, I think they want us to subset action movies in the 1990s. So I think the first thing we need to do is, I think you've already done that. You've already subsetted movies that were produced in the 1990s. So maybe we'll just now do a second subset of movies that are less than 19 minutes. And then from there, we now do a count, probably using a for loop or using, what is it called? The count method.
no, like if you check the subsetting instruction here, they said you need to check the this column for action, like in bracket action, and if you check it, the data from the already subset does not have action movies. These are the type of movies it has
Yeah,
there.
I think we'll do the sunsetting from what's it called, from the top, from the original data frame.
Data free, right? Okay. Okay, that's also what I think. Okay, so let's subset the original data frame now and see the type of movies we have. So we have action actually.
I think action should be the third um on the array. Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, okay. So yeah, we are subsetting for action. So yeah, we see double equals to check action, and then in the 90s. Okay, from your 90s movies data frame. Okay, okay, okay. Please, let's go to the first step here. They said, let's type column. Then apply conditional operator. You want a conditional operator, column name, give it to column name. Okay, please, let's go back to the first this thing. There's an error here. In the first statement, we are only subsetting for the year. We are not subsetting for um the movies. We are not subsetting for movies, please. We are only subsetting for the year. Yes. Okay. So that's where the error was actually coming from earlier. So yeah. Now let's plot our histogram again. Let's plot our histogram one more time. So yeah, 125. So our value should be between 100 and 120. Our answer should be between 100 and 120. So and they said approximate answer. So it just has to be approximate. Let's see 110. So here now the subset is now what you are subsetting. The 1990s movie is now what you are subsetting for action now. Yeah. So the 1990s movie, because everything in our data set is actually a movie. So I just get the instruction now. So and then the second condition that we need to check for is test subset again to keep only movies with the correct listed. That's it. This. And then I paid to the data account the number of movies depending on the condition of a duration less than 90 minutes. Let's say action underscore movies is equals to Netflix underscore subset. And then we are now subsetting with this again. So to select the action movies. Okay. And then they said set up a counter. We are using this short movie count as our counter. You need to initialize it to 0. And then we say iterating through a data frame. Use a for loop with AICA rules. I iterate through the data frame, labels, and rules. Then for this new data frame, for I, rows, I is the index of each value we'll be getting. For I, rows in networks underscore subsets dot iter rows. And then each row is like the values in each row. Then we need to check that what for 90 when doing this we need list check both label and row in the loop since. Okay, they said we should use label. Then counting condition. Use if statement to check if the duration is less than 90. If it is, add 1 to short movies count. Then we say if was
Hello, everyone. If you can hear me, please do indicate just to be sure.
We can hear you, sir.
Yep, we can hear you.
All right. So I don't know what was have transpired. I guess as I said earlier, the Nigerian network. All right. So whilst we're waiting for him, I'm going to open my data lab and see if I can continue. We're almost done with the project, so let's see. So I hope we were learning. I know most of us have questions. Probably when we are done with the project, finally, I'll give room for questions. I hope Mr. Usman returns, but if he doesn't, it's fine. Would continue. Okay. So we want to. Okay. So I'll just continue from where it stopped exactly, even though the project on my data lab is not from the beginning because I'd wiped it out. Just how to start from where it stopped. Just hold on, please. Okay. So I hope you realize that some of the methods he used, especially in the subset thing, you know, was quite different from mine. I think I did this about 2 weeks ago, but we could not finish, I guess. So it's just to tell you that there are different ways to approach a problem, especially with Python. All right, so you just have to learn. There are many syntax, right, that we need to familiarize ourselves with. All right, so that in case we forget one, we can remember the other, especially with, maybe subsetting within a range. So you can see I used np.logical and, if you remember, it's a numpy method. Whereas he used string.contain, all right, and then he used between method. So he used string.contain to subset for the genre movie, and then dot between to subset for the range of year. All right, so I'll just continue from where he stopped. That is the count for the short movie. Please hold on. Um, all right. So, well, any questions so far? Let me share my screen. Okay. Quite weak. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So, can you see my screen? Let me confirm if you can. I need the feedback, please. Can you see my screen? All right. So let's proceed. So, we were at where he was trying to use a for loop, all right, so that we could iterate over. So we are trying to get, again, let's go to the guide. We're trying to get the count for the number of short movies. Yeah, I think this is where we were. Um, okay, so let's hold on. Short movies, short movie count, short movie count. So we'd be setting it equal to 0 because we are doing a count, all right? And then we use our for loop. So we were told to, in the guide, we were told to use a for loop with the method item rows to iterate through the data frames label and rows. Okay, and he said when doing this, you will need to list both the label and row in the for loop. Okay, so um, this label and row, in a sense, is just representing column and rows. So I would write the for loop and I would explain what it means. So for label, comma row, all right. In now I didn't follow what he used to save. So let's just say Netflix. So please forgive me with the what's it called variable that I'll be using. It might not give us the accurate value because I mean I did not. This was where I stopped when I was doing mine. Unless I would have to. I don't want to start all over again. All right. So I'll just use any variable or will avoid that. Okay. Okay. So we can get our values. Let me just let me just do something. Um, okay, so let me just quickly subset the action movies. All right, so subsetting, sorry, subsetting. Oh, action movies.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Sorry for how I left. It was my network. Yeah.
Okay. You are back. I actually wanted to proceed with the project, but since you are back, you can just finish up so that it will be better that way because we are almost at the end. Hello, Mr. Usman, can you hear me? All right. So I guess we'll have to continue then. So let's create a variable. Says action movies in the 90s, right? So this will be equal to mind you, for me, um I've done a subsetting like this, so I'll just I'll just subset from movies in the 1990s using this data frame. So uh, subset, 90s using this curly bracket. Set again, yeah, where the January, right, is equal to action. Yeah, that's what I need. All right. Okay, so that in this place we can let's run this first. Oh, I need to run. I need to run. Yeah. I need to run my this thing from TOP from the top. All right, because I'm just starting the project afresh. So I need to run the cells from afresh. So please hold on. Okay. Uh, sorry, and let me run the past immediate cell. Uh, network is dealing with me. All right. Okay. So we are good. Okay. So for every column and row in action movies, yeah, this is a variable that we need. The 90s. So to remember, this is the method. Remember your for loop, you end it with colon. All right. If sorry, if so, okay. Now let's go to the condition count. So they said we should use an if else statement to check if the duration is less than 90. If it is, and if it is, and one, add one, not add one, that's a typographical error. Add one to short movie count. If it isn't, do nothing. So this statement now we want to convert it to a Python language. sorry guys, I think MTN is after my life this evening. Yeah, really after my life. Sorry, I'm in a location where it seems the network is very very poor. My router is not really picking enough signal. Sorry. So let me share my screen again. We are almost done with the project, so that I can give room for our questions. If you can see my screen, say here. A thumbs up, please. All right, all right, all right, all right. So yeah, this is where we were. So I was trying to explain this for loop statement. So we were asked to use an if else statement, all right? If else statement, I don't know, you must have come across it in the course Intermediate Python. I know you might have some questions, but then just follow along. So we are using this if else statement to actually um, give a condition. So we are saying for every column and rows, right, in this data frame, if the duration is less than 90, do something. Otherwise, do something. All right. So we are saying if the row, because I mean the duration is a column, and then we are iterating over every row in the duration. So if row subsetting, not subsetting now, right? If the row of every duration column is less than 90, then short movie count is equal to short. Now let me write it the basic way plus 1. Remember, I said if it is, we should add 1. So it means that, so what our if else statement is doing is kind of like investigating. Let me use that word. It's kind of like going through every row in the duration. So once he sees a row that is below 90, right? So it counts. So this is our count here. It has been initialized. Nobody leaves the house leaving their ceiling fan on. I mean, if you are leaving the house, your ceiling fan will be off. Same thing. If maybe you get a device or something, the default mode is off. All right, the default mode is off. Maybe with time you get to understand default, where maybe a default might be true or false. But in this case, I would want to say that the default count is 0. So you are initializing, you are starting from the scratch. So we do not have any count here. So if I get to see any movie that is less than 90 minutes, my count will increase by 1. That is the meaning of this here, plus 1. I can write this in another format. Instead of writing this long syntax, I can just make it short to say this 1. All right. I guess we are following. Then my else statement. Remember, look at my indentation. Can you see where this if is? This is an indentation block. You can see this space here. All right. If I get to maybe delete it, I would have a very bad result. It will not come out nice. So whenever you are using a for loop, especially for loops, while loops, if else statement, else, if you're also defining a function, we'll get to that later on. You need to be very careful of indentations. All right. So you can see my else is. The data lab almost deceived me, right? After I typed this, I went to the next place and look at where it took me to. All right. If I type my else here, I'll be wrong. So I'll have to just press my backspace once and then type my else. So the difference between the if statement and the else statement is that the column for the if statement comes after the condition, whereas for the else, the column comes immediately after the else. All right. And then we write the condition, short count. So they are saying if we get to see row that is less than 90, add plus 1. But if not, what should we do? We should do nothing. All right. So do nothing would mean everything remains the same. Oh, sorry, not short count, short movie. Everything remains the same. So it means short movie would be equal to short movie, more like a constant. All right. So let's print. I want to print. So look, my print. The intention of my print is all right. Very important. Short. Yeah. All right. So let's see if we can run this and see if we can get a value. All right. So our value is 7. So it means that we have 7 movies that are less than 19 minutes. So yeah. Let's. Is it possible for us to count it manually? What is the size of? Let me check the size of this data frame. Um, the shape, right? Okay, 48 rows. Okay, okay. So we can count manually. That would be perfect. Yep. Mm, No, no, no. That's a mistake. I'm supposed to do this. Uh, sorry. Uh, so I'm just trying to, confirm if our value is correct. So let me just offset title. Sorry, title, and then duration. Okay. All right. So less than 90. Less than 90. We have one. We have two. Okay. We have one. Okay. Okay. Let's finish it at one. Okay. Just one yet. I think we are correct. We are on track. So it means we have 7 movies that are less than 90 minutes. So yeah, any question so far? Let me see if I can explain more. And any questions so far? Do you want me to explain more on for loops? Explain more? Maybe use an illustration. Any question on this project? Oh, so many persons have left. Or any question generally? Is there anything you're confused about? Is there anything you want to get clarity on?
Yes, I have a question.
All right, go ahead. Question.
Okay, that it's rows that we use, like what's the for? Like I don't really understand
Okay,
um the case where you have to use it.
okay, okay. Any other question so that I can just collect them? Any other question? Okay, nobody is responding. All right. Okay, so iteros is a pandas method. All right. So we use it mostly in for loops. If I want to, for let's say for example, I have about 100 data. All right, and let's say maybe the data contains students on DataCamp, and like it contains those that have completed and have not completed the assignments on DataCamp. So maybe I have a particular name, maybe John Usman completed. I have Adebayo Shola uncompleted, and I want to do a count of those that have completed. All right. What iteros does is that it does a row by row counting. Right. So it goes over every from the first row. If it gets to the first row and it is complete, it goes to the second row. So for every row that it is, going through, if it gets to see a row that has incomplete, it will give a count. I don't know if you know that. Itero is like a pandas method, just like you have dot read CSV, just like you have PD dot series. You know what they call method, right? So it's like a method in pandas that we use to go over a data frame row by row, row by row. All right. There are other methods that we use, but this is one of them.
Okay, thank you.
So it's just for you to just, I wouldn't say memorize, just get familiar with it, because the truth is you cannot memorize a lot of codes unless you practice over time. You can get very familiar with them, but just have it handy. All right, when you begin to do advanced projects and you don't want to make your syntax, you don't want to make your code, very 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 ambiguous and bulky. You can use for loops functions, just make things shorter. All right, so just get familiar with it, keep it handy. We can there's maybe we can actually try it out, but there really is no data set. Maybe we can just do something short. Okay, let's see. Any other question, please? Any other question? By the way, so another we can also use index instead of label. All right, let me share my screen again. All right, so if we go back to we can actually change this to index, but we are following the guide. The guide told us to use label, but we can use index. All right, so index, if we run it, we'll still have the same result. Here you see, right? So you can use for index, comma row. If it were to be a dictionary, all right, if it were to be a dictionary, I think it would be a key value, right? And then this would change. This should change to I think it should change to this. All right, but then of course this is not a dictionary. This is not a dictionary. This is a data frame. That was why we are using that. That's why we use rather index and row. So if our data set were to be a dictionary, we would have used something different. If it were to be a tuple, we would have used something different. All right. Yeah. I don't know if that was clear.
Yes, it was. Thank you.
Any other question? So I don't know if you asked how the learning is going. So let me just ask before we call it um, a week. So how has learning been? Challenges, with projects, courses? Most of us are combining with work, with school. How has it been? I know it's not been easy. So how has learning been? Oh, attendance link. Do I still have it? Okay. Yep. All right. So sorry, I think there was no assignment for this week. More like on our end. We're very sorry about that. So there was miscommunication. Um, so that was why no assignment was given. So it's a free week. Remember, I told us last week that assignment is just a way for us to track your progress. So it doesn't stop you from learning. It doesn't stop you from taking the next course. If you are done with the course, you're done with the project, move on to the next. Just know that at least in a week you have to do two courses. At least you can do more than that, but at least you have to do two courses, just in case maybe something happens and we're not able to send an assignment. All right, so just take note of that. Assignment to be given for this week very early. For the new week, I mean, very early. We are promising that. So, uh, your previous question. Okay, sorry, Anike. Could you please repeat your question? I seem to have forgotten. I cannot think of that. Yeah, how can you download? So let me just show you how you can download the data set. I think somebody asked that question, and so can you see my icon? Can you see my mouse icon? I need feedback. Can you see my mouse icon? Let me be sure.
Yes, we can see.
All right. So if you check, can you see this open context panel? This what is it called? This arrow here. Once you click on it, right, you will see the data set. Let's see the data.csv. All right. So you just click on this three dot icon and you see download file. All right. Can you all see it? All right. So
Yes.
where you okay, for example, now let's say I download the file. All right. Let's say I download the file. So it's downloaded. All right. So I need to know where it's saved. I need to know where it's saved on. Hold on, please. Okay, this was our it's exercise last week. Um, so I just so let me just import just for just for learning sake. Maybe you want to explore more outside of DataCamp. All right, Netflix data, Netflix EF. All right, equal to PB. CSV. Now I need to teach us something. All right, so if you are working outside of VS Code, outside of VS Code, outside of data lab, all right, and say you want to oh sorry about that, I'm coming. And say you want to work on the data outside of data camp or data lab, you know you need to what's it called, import your data set, right? So let me just show us. Sorry, I'm going to share my screen. I'm coming. Let me just show us how it's being done. Uh, okay. Not here. Sorry, please. You know, there are many syntax um to actually copy your data to what's it called, to whatever platform you're working on. Remember, I told us about somebody asked me a question about Anaconda. All right, so I told him I'm not sure I answered that question. Did I? All right, so let me share my screen. I'm sorry about that. All right, so now this is VS Code, all right? I want to import my data sets. I can go here, all right, but so that it will be very easy for us. Now I've copied this data to. I have a list of data sets that I have worked on over time. All right. Say this is the. Hope you cannot see this data located here. Now I need to do something. Maybe you downloaded your data, right, and it's still in downloads on your file explorer on your PC. What you do is you right click and you copy as path. All right. You copy as path. Don't just copy. Some of you might want to maybe go to options and go to properties, and maybe you might want to do this. Or where's that place again? Yeah, you might want to do this. Maybe copy it or do something. That will not be necessary. All you need to do is just you come here, all right? You copy as a path. When you copy as a path, all right? If you can notice something, um, I wrote something here. Hold on, what's wrong? What's wrong? Oops, what's going on? Sorry, my VS Code seems to be malfunctioning. That's sorry, please hold on, please. Oh, it's almost 8. I just need to show us this so that for some of us that want to maybe explore data or explore a project outside of data lab, maybe you go to Kaggle or you go to you downloaded the data set outside the data lab and you want to play around, you want to get your hands dirty, right? How you can go around it. All right. So if you notice, let me make this clean. Normally, this is the what's it called method, the pandas method to import a data set that is in CSV format. Not every data set will be in CSV format. You can so as a data scientist, you'll be working with some web data, web like images, JSON files, CSV files, Excel files, even PDF. So there are different methods to actually import different kinds of data. But because we are working with a CSV, right, you need to use the read underscore CSV. Now I wouldn't just remember I copied the path of this data set, right? I wouldn't just copy and paste it here. What I do or what I usually do is I write R and then I paste. This is what I did. I write R and I paste because what I'm pasting is the path. I'm not really pasting the name of the data. I'm pasting the path. All right. It's quite because sometimes you might have some struggle if you're not pasting just the data name or whatever. I'm pasting the path. I'm actually telling VS Code, all right, to locate this data set on my PC. So this is where this data set is located. All right. So when I run this, all right. So Netflix. Oh, what did I spell? Dot head. Just hold on. All right. So as you can see, the exact data set that we've been working on. All right. So you can do this. Remember, when you get to the data lab, come over here. You come over here, all right? You click on your file. You click on this, and then you download file. Then you come to maybe your VS or your Jupyter notebook or wherever, and then you do as I did. Is that clear? Please. Okay, Professor, you have a question. Allspark, you have a question. Please, very quickly. You're out of time, please.
Okay, so I wanted to ask that are there any extensions I need to install on VS Code to be able to run Python codes?
Yeah, so I think I did that last week. I was explaining to someone saying when you come to your VS Code, you can see extensions, all right? So when you click on the extension, look at what I have installed already. I have Docker DX installed. I have so you can search for Python, all right? When you see I have Python installed, all right? Python, I have Pylons, I have Python. So you can download these extensions, all right? Maybe you can just screenshot them on my screen. Python, Pylons, Python debugger, all right? Jupyter slideshow, Jupyter, you can, yeah, Jupyter, very important. Jupyter, Python, these are very important extensions. Like, so that's all. You don't really need much at this stage. All right, you don't need a GitHub. With time we get to know about that. Right, so you just need to download Python extension, maybe with Python debugger, Python environment. All right. Maybe so VS Code works with environment. Maybe next time I'll teach us how to create an environment. If you really want to work on a project, you have to create an environment. VS Code, VS Code actually is actually good for tracking projects. Because when you are a very certified data scientist, or maybe you're working in a firm and you are actually working on a project, we might have to edit or something like that. You wouldn't want to, so you would have to create an environment and have a vision control, push it to GitHub so that you can be able to control it, make some edits, make some comments if you want to add. So that would be later on. So just Jupyter will be fine, Python will be fine, Python debugger, Python environment. Those ones will be fine. Or you can download Anaconda. I think I do have it, but I don't make use of it. All right. So you can download Anaconda. Once you download Anaconda, you would see the Jupyter notebook file. I think Jupyter notebook on it, so you can run it and work with Jupyter notebook. Or you can use Google Colab. Google Colab is actually a product of Google. All right. So yeah, who else has a question? Is this Jupyter notebook on your? Yes, Emmanuel. Yes. Is Jupyter notebook on my VS Code? Yes, but yes. It is. It is. What's the R doing before the file URL? Okay, Bright. Because I did not paste the data. If you notice on my VS Code, I did not just paste data. Netflix data.csv. I pasted if I can you hear me, please? Hello, can you hear me? Sorry. Okay, yeah. Emmanuel just explained. Yeah. Any other question? I'm about to leave. All right. So it was nice.
Yes.
You have a question? Ospak, very quick, please. We are out of time, please.
So after copying the file as part and using that method you showed us, if we send the file to GitHub, how does GitHub know the part of the file?
How does GitHub know the path of the file? No, whatever it is you are pushing to GitHub has been done already on your VS Code. All right. So there's a lot of there are still a lot of things that I might need to say about GitHub, but not now. Okay. So, but everything that GitHub is doing, or everything that will be on your GitHub, is connected to your VS Code. All right, because there are some prompts you would run. There are some things you have to do to actually connect your GitHub to your VS Code, so that everything you do, you can push it. All right, there's what is called pull and what is called push. You can push it to your GitHub. All right, so GitHub is a version control. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it was nice. It's a nice time with you guys. So please keep it grinding, keep the ground running. If you have any challenge, you have the Discord channel. Okay, yeah, Mr. Usman, over to you.
Oh, everyone, sorry, sorry, my network was really stable. I tried everything to join back then, but it really cutting me off. So one more thing I just want to add to what Mr. John just said is that if you are using VS Code, always remember to like install VS Code and also install Python on your laptop in order to be able to use it. Because if you don't have an interpreter installed on your laptop, it won't work yet. So remember to install an interpreter as you install VS Code. And after you've installed VS Code, remember to install Python and Jupyter extensions so that you'll be able to work with it. Yeah. So those are my little additions. And I think this is the end of our breakout session for this week. So do have a nice week and expect your assignments from tomorrow onwards. If you are yet to complete your assignment, kindly complete them. And new assignments will be dropping from tomorrow. Please, let's work out. We are working towards 100,000 XP. I believe in you. I'm waiting for you.
Thank you.
All right. Good night, everyone.